Today I'm going to be showing you a no BS mixing process that will have your beats sounding as clean and hitting as hard as Travis Scott's. If you follow the steps in this video, I 100% guarantee your mixes are going to improve. And as a bonus, you'll find out 2 super secret mixing strategies that professional mix engineers use in every trap beat. Look, I know you're here for the gems, so let's just stop wasting time and jump right in. The first super secret tip that I want to tell you about is to always have a soft clipper on your master. Get rid of that shitty fruity limiter and opt for the fruity soft clipper instead. Or if you still have some Christmas money left over, you can go for something a bit more heavy duty like the TR5 soft clipper. All songs get slammed into a soft clipper or brick wall limiter. The best producers know this, and so they do the same with their beats. So we can get rid of this trash, grab this, and then move on. Now, this isn't a beat making tutorial per se, so I'll just speed run a banger so we can move through this. Okay, done. I started with this guitar melody I got from my boy Pure Dandy. I made this video for you if you want to learn how to make these kinds of melodies on your own, and Pure Dandy actually has a few dope free kits, so I'll link those for you in the description below too. Then I added this flourish from Kavi's mini stash kit. And then this accent too. Now we can get into mixing the melody, which starts with the EQ. We can do this with the fruity parametric EQ too. Let's change both these outer band slopes to the steepest settings so we can make hard cuts on all of the unneeded high and low frequencies. A mistake a lot of noobs make is using EQ bands to boost frequencies. That's a super Bush League play, I'm not gonna lie to you. Any professional will tell you to cut frequencies always and to boost rarely. There's a deeper reason why, but the TLDR is that cutting unwanted frequencies allows the good ones to shine instead of you having to boost the good ones and thus ruining the sound spectrum in the process. Anyways, I made this cut here because there were a few harsh frequencies getting in the way of the rest of the beautifulness. The next effect in this chain is chorus because it adds depth and width to your sound. There are many chorus VSTs to choose from. I like Tall Chorus XL for 3 reasons. 1, it's free. 2, it's an emulation of one of the best chorus mods ever, the Juno 60. And 3, you can slap it on anything straight out of the box and make it sound better. Listen to how lush it makes this guitar melody sound. Alright, next is delay. This is a time-based effect that echoes the signal to make it sound less dry. The sauce here is to just fire up Fruity Delay 2 and use the widen preset. I've used a ton of delays and never heard a setting better than this for adding subtle width to a signal. I mean, but feel free to buy a bunch of them like I did if you want to test it out for yourself. And now, reverb. Reverb is sort of like delay. It also creates an echo, but the difference is that reverb also simulates that signal being bounced off of a surface. This is why the Fruity Reverb has a bunch of settings named after rooms or buildings like large hall or drum room. Speaking of which, I really like using the Cathedral preset from Fruity Reverb. The only tweaks I really make are turning the bass to 0, messing with the dry slider which makes the original signal louder, and playing with the wet slider which makes the reverb signal more powerful. Basically, reverb just makes melodies sound more ambient. Alright, so now I'll just take this entire stack and apply it to the other instruments as well. And now we can listen to our fully mixed melody. Cool, let's move on to leveling. So I added these drums so that this part would make more sense and be more valuable to you. I mean, how weird would it have been if I just did the melody? Okay, first, I want to talk about something that I know you probably have a question about: gain staging. This topic has been mystified all to hell, so let me just tell you, in as simple terms as possible, what it is. Gain staging is just leveling at different stages. if you will. That's literally it. Now, with that being said, the leveling method I'm about to show you can be applied to any stage, and I strongly recommend applying it to at least your channel rack volume knobs and mix faders. So starting in the channel rack, we need to mute everything except the 808. It's the loudest thing, so we can just start with that. All right, so now we just make it as loud as possible, almost as loud as we can without clipping. So again, we just want to push it until it's almost clipping. Maybe even clipping just a little bit. And then we want to turn it down a bit because now we'll bring in the kick and have it hitting slightly louder than the 808. And then we can bring in the snares and have them hitting a bit lower than that. And then the hats, which should be a bit lower than the snares. And now we can level in our melody. And this one's tough because you do have to do it by ear. And my biggest tip for you here is to just be sure that the melody is loud and present, but not overpowering your drums. Sorry about glossing over why the melodies are bust in one track. I really just want to fit in the gems today. So here's the second huge gem that I promised you at the beginning of the video. This one I learned from my mentor Chris, who mixes for a few small artists like Toby, Beyonce, and Travis Scott. Chris says that the mix is made or broken with the big three. The big three are your bass elements, your main snare or clap, and your lead melody. If those are locked in, you have a really good chance of ending up with a solid mix. What I like to do is level in my channel rack like we just did, repeat the process with my faders, and then turn everything off except the big three. Then I spend a few minutes just tweaking these to make sure they are as tight as possible. Once this is done, we can bring everything else back in and adjust them as need be based on the leveling relationships I mentioned earlier. Now, my goal is to show you the no bullshit gems that will have your mixes sounding godly. I dumped most of the technical stuff for this video just to give you the absolute essential sauce. But if you're a nerd like me and you want to learn about the technical reasoning behind a lot of these techniques, you can check out the video appearing on the screen now. I'll see you there.